episode number 347.
There's all these little brands, the challenger brands, and it's so much easier for them to come to market. It's so easy to go find a co-packer to put this together, and you have no choice but to up your game and really stand out.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up, ready to bring some fuego in your days and nights and weekends and whenever you listen to the show today. We really appreciate you listening. But after this show, I think you're going to want to think about smashing your brand, smashing your concepts. And if you haven't come up with a brand solution or packaging idea, I think you're going to want to think about the things you can do to stand out and make sales. And we're talking to a true professional in the game of packaging and designing, Mr. Michael Keplinger. Michael, are you ready to be real?
Travis, let's get real. I don't know if I can match your energy level. It is high fuego, so that's excellent.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. But you're bringing the high excellence in the game of packaging and design. Just looking at the bio, basically getting inside the consumer's mind and trying to find strategies, obviously with the colors and with the things you say in packaging, guys and gals, to get the product to move. Let's just be real. I mean, too many times you see it. We were, on Shark Tank or wherever you're at, the shows now you get to see them. And why things fail a lot of times is because the packaging didn't really tell what the product did, and there's confusion when someone's walking on that aisle, what it does. In some simple case, and obviously maybe some simple case, what an avocado is, but that packaging is helping you sell the avocado faster than the guy next to it that doesn't look as presentable, colorful, eye-catching. Just shopping. I was just shopping this morning and thinking about so many consumer brands, either really good at this or fail at this. And so take me back into your story and journey. Did you always have a fascination with designing things and art and creative?
Oh, good Lord. No, I went to school for engineering. And,
wow.
Yeah, right. No, really technical background. It's really came from my business partner and I started brands 20 years ago. So some of those brands, one in particular is actually still sold today, and we have a few other brands that we have built and market and sell. And for us, that was the fun part. So the agency came from, getting to do what we're passionate about, what we think is really fun for other clients and things like that. And so he kind of runs the creative team, and I'm, which should be no surprise, as having that engineering background is really kind of the strategy and get inside that head, right? To like sell? You said, what you talked about, where I guess nothing can really fix a bad product, but great packaging that does great communication can really make a mediocre product best-selling. And on the converse, you could have the best-selling product out there, but like you said, if you're not doing a good job showing it off, no one will know or care.
Yeah, in some spaces it's so competitive that your package just needs to stand out. And so I was just looking at some of the awesome product designs you guys have done on your website, starting from the guacamole one. It's just that stands out to you, as well as aesthetically, and then clean and look. But tell me into maybe then into the concept of you guys launching products for yourself. Were you focused on consumable products as far as food related products, or what kind of products are you guys producing yourselves?
Yeah, so we got started in this 20 years ago in dietary supplements.
Gotcha.
So we had a sports supplement brand. We still sell some like creatine products.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
And being our wheelhouse, because when you're developing brands, I think that mindset and the packaging is really you can spread that across a lot of different things. We're all consumers. We buy a lot of different kinds of products. But when it comes to the entire business and owning it, we just kind of know that space well. So all of our products are food and dietary supplement products.
Gotcha.
But the brands too, and being just very different kinds of brands. One brand we have really kind of came after when you remember when keto really no one even knew what it was. So just launching some like fatty oils like MCT oil and
nice. Yes.
Yeah, so those are that's just fun stuff, just like finding the trends, finding how to, and then even within that, like how do we make ours different? Because you got to eat your own dog food, and so for our own brands, just like how do you really differentiate yourself on something like, and an MCT oil is a great example because it's a single ingredient inside the bottle, so you're not differentiating a whole lot on what's in the bottle. You got to differentiate on other factors.
Got you. Interesting. That is interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So in many cases where it's the same exact ingredient inside, it's just how are you presenting this? How are you marketing this? And capitalizing on the consumer to make that purchase. Let's just be real. Hey, a big category I think is another one that I personally love. And I noticed the big one on that one. This one is that I can't get supply of it. Is bone broth.
Bone broth, yeah.
Interesting, right? Bone broth is I do the Keurig pods, and it's very interesting with them because I don't know if LONO Life, it's like one of the major big box brands in the space. If they are having distribution problems or what, but it seems like their distribution kind of comes in and out. All of a sudden it'll be in stock, out of stock, and then you have to buy some other kind. So I just thought it was interesting because that just shows you obviously there must be some demand there. You guys also like Gary Vaynerchuk that believe bone broth is its own little category, and maybe even more kind of like Starbucks locations with different types of bone broths and this and that. So and for someone that does it myself, it's a tasty treat. It's not cheap. So
no, it's not. And it's like, that's a perfect example of when just you recognize the trend. And my mom, who is 74 years old, is coming over one day and it's like, I bought this book. It's the Bone Broth Diet. Oh my God, it's going to change my life. And so that's when if you're one of those brands on the early side of that sees that trend come in and you catch the trend, you can just be bone broth and be the leader. But if you're going to be the guy that comes in halfway through there and everyone's jumping on that train, right, you better figure out how to make yourself different.
Yeah. And or the next one, or the next one.
Or the next one. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that makes me think of going back to keto too, because early on, people just kind of go for those simple ingredients. And keto's a lifestyle. There's a lot of products there.
Absolutely.
It's you get into it. I did it for a little while, and you start eating that food, and you're just like everyone else. You want easy, you want quick, and really the next wave of training, they're still coming. Really, is the keto snacks, right? People just want
absolutely.
Like, open it up, throw it in your mouth, and you're still like keto friendly,
right? Ones that are actually tasty, ones that are like with Quest Nutrition, my boy Tom Bilyeu did with the game of protein bars. Making them actually edible, making them tasty so that people actually, want to eat them. Not I love protein bars, but it's been an evolution since I first started tasting protein bars 20 something years ago to where Quest Nutrition is now, or some of these brands are now with the protein bars. And those things aren't cheap either. So
no, they are. They make them taste like candy bars, right?
Yeah, we're willing to pay kind of that luxury price for something that's satisfying, easy, but that is not going to cost our tons of calories or tons of like bad sugars and flavorings and all these things that we kind of are concerned about overall. Some are concerned more than others, but I think we're all concerned about it, right? I think it's something that time and time again is proven that, you watch what you eat, you do pretty all right. So, but it's fascinating you're in this category because it's consumable, So when someone eats it once, you got to reorder. So that's the beauty about this category specifically, is that there's a lot of reordering possibilities and growth, obviously, if your brand does take on, because you got to buy it every week, month, whatever, and so that's the beauty. Unlike some products, you sell it one time and that's it, and
that's right. Yeah. I love the CPG category, consumable products. That growth, it's twofold. You got to have that story, you got to have that brand, and then you got to be where they are. Most people just kind of want that, the quick and, distribution. It matters getting in there. And like you said too, where you focus more on social media and getting out there and getting the word out. But, right. What good is it to have a Facebook post that someone's getting super excited about, and then they can't get it in the store? And so all these pieces, got to work together.
Very true. I always say that too. I was back in the day, if you can't handle the traffic that this phone call, this TV ad is going to bring you, then you're not ready for it. Because sometimes clients will say, "Oh, I couldn't handle all the call volume I was getting because their ad rolls up on Oprah." people are going to call. You just hit 50,000 people for 30 seconds. So people are going to call if you have a compelling message and product, just like you would if you had 50,000 people that roll down an aisle. They might pick up your product, and you want to have the product shelved, stocked right. You want to have it looking good. And but my question to you now is, what are some of the biggest concerns and questions that people are having right now? What are some of the things that you're really helping them achieve as far as design-wise, as far as product-wise?
Yeah, so I think that if I step back and look at the whole market, and it doesn't matter what your product is, really, is there's all these little brands, the challenger brands, and it's so much easier for them to come to market. It's so easy to go find a co-packer to put this together. And these days, so many of them actually have stock formulations, or you kind of bring your formula. It's really easy. And so you have no choice but to up your game and really stand out. I think the average grocery store, and I don't want to make the whole call about the whole talk about grocery, but it's easy for us to all relate to what's in a grocery store. Like for 20 years ago, I think the number is we have maybe 8 or 9 times more products on the average grocery store. Wow. So you just have so much choice, and there's like, and people, they just kind of get paralyzed by that much choice and the sea of sameness. And so true. So I think you got to think about it from a number of different perspectives. And when you're talking about packaging, where these products that aren't really, people can say that, some simple little food product or snack is going to change their life and their story about where they come from. And there's few brands that do it, and they do it really well. But it's kind of, I feel like today everyone feels like they need to check that box off and say, hey, here's like why I care about the world and all these things. But it's not going to work for every brand. And so the packaging is going to do a lot of that work if you're that kind of product. And I don't even think it matters if you're on a store shelf or on the Amazon virtual shelf, because and that first job is you got to grab their attention. And so that's what you're talking about. Is how do you look different? You look at the colors being used. That's very impactful one. And, where can I carve a unique place out in color? How can a placement of things and visual things that just kind of grab your attention, breaking the pattern that you see on the shelf?
Good. So competitors, for instance, like if you're a competitor popcorn, or you're competitive, kind of looking at what do the competitors look at, and then how can I be different in this category here?
Totally. And it could be a different shape bottle. If everybody's in a box and you're in a square box, or you're in a bag or something like this that just visually is different, that's going to grab your attention. And so that's only part of the puzzle, right? Now you got their attention, and it gets back to what we're saying, like maybe you have a great product, and if nobody notices, then nobody cares. But, step one, you grab that attention. And then step two, you actually got to say, now, why do I care? And it's like a finish line. It's like it's the funnel for the shelf at the store. And you got to throw them in the top of the funnel, and that's grabbing their attention. And then you got to say, okay, so what? And answer their question. Like, here's why you're different, or here's why, whether it's like, I taste awesome, or, I will, have these ingredients you're not looking for, or maybe something you're not knowing about. Your life is better if you buy me, and find out what that is. And then ultimately, the other pieces, you gotta win on the shelf. And we always say these like table stakes, where you have to have certain things, or you're not even included in them deciding to use it. Like you said, a protein bar. Well, a candy bar doesn't fit in that category because it doesn't have protein.
Right. It
might taste the same, actually. And those really successful protein bars that are doing awesome actually taste a lot like a candy bar.
Right.
Right. You're like, I'm a Snickers with protein. Well, you just won.
I'm surprised they haven't gone that far. You're always shocked that companies like that aren't, but you figure probably at some point they'll just buy up all the competitors, and companies like Hershey's or any of these companies, just like Coca-Cola buys up all the competitive water companies, and Zico and whatever the trend is, they'll just buy up the next trending beverage company. And that kind of makes more sense maybe for some of these bigger, big corporations than trying to evolve it on their own, trying to evolve the Hershey protein bar.
Totally. And I think my business partner would probably tell you specific brands and bars that probably are really close to tasting like Snickers bar.
Right. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's unbelievable, especially like the Robert Irvine bar. I mean, it's unbelievable. But yeah, it's a fascinating space, and I think that, like you said, there's so many opportunities for people to create these brands without some of the huge costs that there were maybe 20 years ago to do this, because there weren't the ability to co-pack and some of these things to even distribute out, whether you want to be on Amazon Fresh or you want to be on these places that you can buy things, and be in the mix. And also obviously social media, guys, with a viral TikTok or a viral post or a YouTube video done right could bring you a ton of world of success. And we've seen it time and time again from brands and with little to no budget. And so I think it's fascinating, man. I think it's really cool because the space is a kind of a more evolving space than ever before, as far as, like you said, all these challenger brands. And Frito-Lay has, constant competitors. Constant chip competitors and constant new opportunities for people to make a better chip, if you want to call it. And like people like Quest that just kind of just continue to grow and evolve and go after different categories, and it's really, like I said, it's a fascinating space. And,
you don't always have to be different. People aren't as different as they seem to think. LaCroix, the sparkling waters that everyone's getting, or whether it's that or White Claw, where they put the
right,
sparkling, just grain spirits.
Right
Now, there's all these other brands that are actually, AHA for LaCroix, and then even White Claw. I mean, they were first mover advantage, and they're still big. But all these brands come in with more or less the exact same product. Exactly. And that that's the other side. If you think about all these dynamics here, and you're talking about Facebook posts, you got a great marketing campaign that really gets in front of consumers, and just like say, hey, this is a product. I'm already buying White Claw, but hey, I didn't even know about this one, and I start buying that one also. And so, we just look at all the pieces. If you're super differentiated, we're going to focus on really making sure that that's understood in there. And if it's really genuine, then you want to get on the shelf. And if you got great packaging, great communication, the product can do a lot of that for you and sell itself. You got a product that's not very differentiated. It doesn't mean you can't have a great brand. You just have to focus on different angles. You got to focus on visually looking different. And then you got to focus on, the stuff that you do of getting out there and getting awareness and getting people talking about it and looking at it and driving that through there. So it's a lot of different levers to pull depending on what you got.
And giving the product away, I think, is the biggest win too, because if people haven't tasted it, if you can, in your marketing budget, I think it's a smarter marketing budget. I always told every consumer brand that I ever worked with, and they were trying to test new things, I said, dude, use social and give it away. Collect the data, name, email address, mailing address, where to ship you this stuff, right? And get a test of, do they like your new donuts? Like I worked with a big, brand that did a lot of different production of brownies and all these different things. And next thing you know, hey, we want to go after Hostess. We want to go after the donuts market was weird and they were stopping making donuts or something, I remember. And then they wanted to go after that. Can we do it? And it was like, we use social to literally test these donuts to see if the consumers would like them, right? And then gave them the donuts for free. And then these people at some point, became our group. They basically, gave us a lot of good research, and they made tweaks, and eventually they did roll out donuts. And I think it was one of the top 3 or 4 sellers at some point for the brand, and a big revenue stream because it's a big company. But the point will be is that it's so simple to do using your own followers or email list or anything. You can literally give this some of this stuff if possible, so that you can get that feedback. And I think it's like most important thing is if someone hasn't tasted your stuff, right? Like you don't know if it tastes good or not, right? So it's like if you send me, I love beef jerky. Okay, I love a lot of things, but if you send me, some bone broth company sends me bone broth today, and I like it better than the one I drink, hey, you got a $35, $40 a month customer here. You know what I mean?
Right,
like I drink one a day. It's cost me about $1 something a day. It's a $40 customer. I'm pretty loyal. So if you were to break my loyalty from the other company because it was better tasting, or just because you decided to do that, that's the only way that I'm going to shift to your bone broth, right? So it's like, and that's, I think, a piece of the consumer that people are forgetting, because I think it's pretty damn cheap to send this stuff out. Not every product can be shipped, but most products can be, and I think it's better to ship it to people that are your loyal consumers, your social media followers, the people that are already buying product from you, than to try to go find some new customer off Google Ads or off some new place where they've never even been loyal with you before, especially if a brand's trying to make a new product line, right? Especially if
I'll give you, you made me think of a story. They actually probably have platforms now to do this for you, but we kind of built this from scratch when we had our supplement brand. This is probably maybe 12 years ago, and it was incredibly successful. And it's about sampling. It's important to sample those types of products. And but you get these samples, you make them, they cost money, and then it costs even more money to make them to actually ship it out, send it out. Right. So we what we did was basically say free samples, and it was $1 to ship it. Or instead of the $1, if you go, post it all over your social media,
boom,
then you earned it, and it would track like 3 of these things.
Yes.
And that thing was exponential. We ran out of probably 500,000 samples in 2.5 days.
Wow.
And had to turn it off, and sales grew like 2x in just a matter of months. And so, yes, that's a proof point for you of how the power of sampling can work. There's a reason when you go into Costco every Sunday that there's like 27 tables set up my kids love going on that day because everything's free to try.
Yeah, dude, that's the proven model. I was about to say Costco's figured it out for years. Just you got to taste this stuff to buy it, especially in that case, because you taste it and then 3 seconds away, it's you can just go pick it up. It's like the perfect model for them, obviously, because it keeps people in the stores, it keeps them entertained, and as well as obviously sells the product. I mean, many times you taste it and it's good, let's buy that. And so it gives you the shot to try new things when you get a taste. And the other thing I like about it is, hey, let's just be real, guys. I just leveraged names, emails, and phone numbers too. So you can also hit these people back up in your disclaimer. You can put hey, you're now joining my email list, or now we can text message you with offers. And so next time you have a big promotion or incentive, you can blast out to these people. Hey, guess what, guys? You have 50% off or a buy one, get one off of this new thing because you are a part of our, group. And that's obviously what people are doing all the time with email marketing and things like that. So that's the thing.
Travis, that's the right way to do it too, because you own that customer, you own that contact.
Yeah.
And if there's always the easy route where you can it's so easy now. You sign up for one of those sample boxes that people send out, and they get like a new box every week.
Right.
Those people are getting something new, 10 new things a week, and they're on to the next thing. And you don't have a connection to them, and it might be easy, but I feel that the hard work that you do of trying to harvest your own list and then keep that connection. And those people are less likely to be getting 100 samples a month and just going to have such better results from that.
It's so true. And I always say anyone that's following you, obviously on social, is already a fan. So reward them, make them loyal, make them share. There's so many different ways you can incentivize this thing, but usually it's a much more wise cost to launching something than obviously putting big bucks up and just running ads. And you sometimes, hey, I want to put $100,000 on YouTube ads and this. Okay, but who's getting what here? I mean, there's you take that $100,000 and you give it to the fans. Hey, you got a whole different type of campaign like you experienced with yours, where you have tons of sharing, tons of redemption, and then also some sales growth. But now, my man, we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Top 10. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby. Apple or Android?
Ooh, Android. I'm probably
Android. I love that. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Instagram or Facebook?
Facebook.
Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Let's go. Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Spotify or Pandora? Movies or video games?
Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Listening.
I like that. Audible, 2x.
Yeah.
Stocks or real estate?
Stocks.
And oceans or lakes if you're thinking about taking a vacation, man, because you deserve it, brother. You work hard.
Used to be oceans, but it's lakes now.
Lakes, I like that. Do you have a favorite lake around you or a place that you enjoy?
Oh man, Payette Lake, north of Boise, Idaho.
Nice.
It's like mini Lake Tahoe.
Oh, I love Lake Tahoe. Beautiful, man. And what was that called again? So I could write it down. Lake
Payette in McCall.
Lake Payette. Oh, I'm gonna put that in there. I always like looking at different lakes in the background screensavers. Very cool. And when you're waking up, my man, and you're getting yourself ready for your day, you're getting your your mindset right. Why do you love being you?
Oh, I get to explore new ideas every day. Learning, that's what it is, really.
I like
Love
that.
it.
Constant learning. You probably never
Constant
thought you'd be
learning.
doing what you're doing right now after being an engineer.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's we all got our own little path in life, and it's always unique. That's for sure.
Hey, that's a blessed part of the journey is that you get to choose those decisions, and you get to be rewarded by the blessings because your soul wanted these decisions, right? And so, and you're getting tons of blessings, my brother, tons of blessings, not only by helping serve customers, but your own brands, and you got the secret sauce to do it again, and that's a beautiful thing, man, beautiful thing. Do you think you'll ever retire from the game of helping consumer brands build businesses, sell things to products and to people?
Oh yeah, but I don't think I'll ever retire from doing what we do there. Probably for ourselves, though.
Got
Just,
you. So retire the
agency,
ideas.
the new ideas are just it's just too fun.
Yeah. So that's more fun for you to actually execute on your visions than necessarily always working on the clients.
No, that's what I'm saying is I love doing it for ourselves. It's a lot more work.
That's
right?
what I mean. That's what I mean. Gotcha. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you enjoy that more, being able to see the vision, and then also it's obviously your business.
That's right. You get to reap the fruits of your labor.
I
So
like
they say,
that.
right?
I like that. But the agency is a business is a great model, man. It's a great model. It's a working model, and shout out to you guys for what you guys have done so far, man, with the agency, because hey, it's a service too. It's a service to customers, and maybe another great way to funnel some of your other ideas as well. So use the cash flow to funnel some of your brand ideas. Why not?
For sure, Travis.
I like that. Do you have a routine to start your day?
I'm a morning person, and it's almost a methodical way of making a whole pot of coffee every morning.
Ooh, I like that. Do you have a favorite brand of coffee or a type of coffee you like drinking?
No, I think of it like wine, where I like to go try the different ones. And,
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
As much as possible, man. It's fun to just explore and see what's out there, man, instead of just being so rigid and stuck to the model of what you're used to. I had a recent guest. He works for Gary Vaynerchuk. He's basically one of Gary's main men. And we had an interview this morning. He's saying, hey, if you run every morning, go out and sit outside quiet and don't move for 30 seconds or 30 minutes. He's just kind of showing you like you can do like these different things that you aren't used to. Even if you're super active, if you don't do shit every day, go out and run 1 mile and prove to yourself you ran a mile. It's just kind of interesting to try to flip up the routine. But I like that with the coffee. Something simple, but hey, it keeps the day fun, man. I actually look forward to that when I get to drink a new coffee. Do you have a skill you're trying to master, something try to get better at, or something you're trying to perfect and work at?
My life goal, it's actually not I'm getting progress on it, is to be fluent in Spanish.
Ooh.
And my kids too, actually. So
Ooh, how are you
the goal
learning
is to, what's that?
How are you pushing yourself or learning? Is it an app or a tool that you're using?
No, I just I kind of caught the bug in high school when I was exchange student in Mexico City, and then I graduated undergrad and I went to Barcelona for 3 months and was in a Spanish language school 5 days a week for 3 months.
Oh, dude, so it, dude. Hell yeah.
And then I did it again after grad school in Buenos Aires, had an apartment there.
Oh,
and so
geez.
the travel, the vacations are almost always in Latin America, and the goal is to live 1 year in Cuenca, Ecuador.
Ooh, do 1 year there just to see how it is.
Yeah, just full immersion, and I mean,
like that.
It's so possible these days to even do what you do from anywhere.
Right. Oh, dude, that's the beauty of. If there's one beautiful thing that happened about 19, which was a crazy thing that happened to everybody, we don't want to minimize anything like that, was that you can work from anywhere, baby, and that's a beautiful thing. There's something beautiful about that. If you embrace that, it opens your eyes to where you can be. And how many kiddos do you have?
3 kids. All
3
boys.
kids, man. So you're a papa entrepreneur, the OG.
The OG papapreneur, the papapreneur.
I like that, man. Hey, it's not easy. It's not easy to be a dad, be an entrepreneur, try to show up for your family, husband, do it all, man. So commend you, brother. I got a 2-year-old and a 2-month-old, and God bless him, man.
Yeah, congrats for that.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, we're just getting to the sleep zone where he's just starting to sleep good. So we're grateful. He completely sleeps better than my daughter did. So we're, as a new parent, you always just are grateful for good nights of sleep in the beginning. It can be rough.
Yeah, I was grateful over the last year that all my kids were finally in elementary school, at
Oh,
least. I
nice.
mean, even if it was COVID, it wasn't exactly elementary school, but I think we're in the clear now.
Oh, absolutely. And so it's like it gives you more of like a routine for you and kind of let them know, okay, you're going to be all at school, all kind of on the similar schedule and not all doing different things because that's got to be crazy.
It is. Yeah, we make it happen.
That's, dude, I can only imagine, man. So shout out to you, my man. Do you have a favorite app or tool that you like using and to run your businesses or something you just kind of are gravitated to in life on your phone?
Well, like I said, in the top 10, I'm more of the laptop than a phone
Laptop.
guy.
Yeah, me too, man.
Um, but
Any
we
tools in
might.
the any tools in the business maybe then or
Yeah, I love Trello. We grew
Ooh.
out of it in our agency, but we actually started that thing on there, and I still use that tool for so many things. It is just simple and dead easy to use, and it's just so intuitive. It's an awesome tool.
That thing has been a beautiful thing, a beautiful, like you said, simple, easy to use tool. Basically, tons of ways to use it. But think about sticky notes that are anywhere, and you can just stick them, and they never go anywhere, and you can just come back to them, and many flows and many different ways. I've searched so many different uses of Trello, but it is an incredible tool, and one of those ones that doesn't put a huge paywall in front of it. So just a great simple tool.
Yeah, exactly.
To use. If you could chop it up at a steak dinner with anyone in the world, who would you want to chop it up with?
Oh, that's a good one. I Ray Dalio.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Are you kidding me? Principles, baby. It's
I
all
know,
about the
and that's
principles.
that's just kind of my little side passion of trying to really understand this crazy
The money.
world of global economics that we live in. Because I
Right.
don't know what's going to happen, but man, I feel like he would have some pointers on it.
Oh, yeah. Very interesting. He's actually into crypto too now. It's a very interesting mindset. Some of these people are changing around cryptocurrencies and things like that to kind of leverage, inflationary bets out there, obviously, because people say it or not, inflation's here, dude. I just went grocery shopping this morning, dude. Everything's up. It's here. But, we don't know if it's sustained or not. There's lots of different theories on it. There's this and that. I know one thing. If you invest in yourself, guys and gals, and you put a little money away and don't consume it, don't buy sneakers, but you buy Nike or you buy cryptocurrency or you put it in sports cars. I love sports cars, or you put it in something that's an investment. Typically over time, and you hold that thing, it does well. Typically you hold it, and if the market goes down a little bit, you buy a little more, and you hold it. You tend to actually do pretty damn well. And I think that's the one strategy that works, Michael, is just buying and holding and keep acquiring and keep doing assets. And for gentlemen like you, the beauty is to be able to create a new business or brand and bring in new revenue that never existed. And so, a lot of people don't have that blessing in their life because they maybe limit themselves or they just don't have the ability to take that leap to entrepreneurship. But that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur is you could create a new revenue stream, a new service, a new business, a product. Tomorrow it takes off and you got a whole new revenue stream to your life. And, that's kind of, I always say the beauty, but a lot of times people, even if they're making a lot of money, they don't stock it away. They don't
No,
put it
and I
away.
think probably more important of what you buy is that you actually just you spend less than you make, and it almost
Boom.
doesn't matter where you put it. As long as you do that, it'll all work out over time.
That's it right there. Simple, easy. The KISS method, baby. Let's go. Keep it simple. Has there been a book that has changed your life or something you either reread or kind of sticks to your soul?
There was a really good book that I think changed our business and our agency called Pricing Creativity.
Ooh, Pricing Creativity. Okay, I haven't heard of this one. Pricing Creativity. And what is this book, in the gist, what it kind of give you as far as mindset, like around that you can be, I'm just saying.
This applies to service businesses, but here's the probably the main point. You got two front doors that a client can come in for your service business, then come in through the production house where you do things and they treat you like a vendor, or then come in through the expertise house.
Ooh.
You can do all those things, but it makes a world of difference which door they come in. And so you want to grow your service business, you have to sell expertise and not widgets.
I like that. Oh, that's a hell of a good strategy. I mean, it's just a good mindset around business because literally service-based businesses, a lot of us tend to drive ourselves down to zero. It's like, there's $99 social media. There's freaking $20 social media out there. There's $50,000 social media out there, and anywhere in between. Where do we fit? How do we price it right? How do we keep the customer? Obviously, blah blah blah. But I think you're absolutely right. If you just focus on just, hey, we do posts and we do this and we do that, I mean, then you kind of get away from being the expert in the space. Or I always like to say, people believe in you, and so they usually buy into you. And so then you need to be an expert in your story and telling, being an expert in why you wake up every day and why you love serving them. And then people, hey, I like Travis. I like, Michael. He's a good guy. I want to work with him, And so I think it's a really good point that you're saying there. Don't just focus on, the basically down to the bottom of just being how fast cheap can we get this thing, and because then you're going to price yourself out of business. We've seen that.
It's like what I was talking about when we were talking about products, about them being a commodity. If what's in the bottle is the same, then you got to do it somewhere else. And so, different services are becoming a little bit more commoditized, but it doesn't mean you can't carve out why you're an expert.
So true. It's very, very important, especially, like I said, be an expert in your story, be an expert in why you told this business. Can you give our listeners, if someone is thinking about designing, packaging, and wanting to work with an expert in the game of business and in this space, where's the favorite place to learn more about you guys?
I have heard of this one company called Smash Brand.
Smash Brand, baby. Woo!
They are experts in the space.
I love that. Smashbrand.com. We'll put that in the show notes. Hey, brother, you are an incredible dude, a pop entrepreneur. And like I always tell my entrepreneurs and businesses owners out there, hey, the world's full of abundance. You're going to be making tons of more products, helping businesses. And Ecuador is just a short journey away for you, with you and your family, for that year journey, man. That's incredible. But, man, thank you so much for your time today. Folks, you've been hanging out with Mr. Michael Keplinger and Travis Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. Do you want to get featured on podcasts, guys? You can be a guest. And that's right. You have a story, and the people, the good folks at I Love Podcasts, that's ILUV podcasts.com, do that every single day. This is a new company, guys, in the space of podcast agency. And they realize a lot of the people in the space it's just a commodity, and they don't care. And these folks care. And I literally love Kenny and the team at I Love Podcasts, and they are doing it right for their customers. So you guys can be a guest on a show. ILovePodcast.com. That's ILUV podcasts.com. Let's go.